Riveting Radio Real Estate as we say hello to Don Pannell. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Jeff.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
We have a good listing to talk about. You want to start with that? Or
I do.
Okay, where are we at here?
This is really a cool listing. This is going to be totally different.
Sure.
This is actually a commercial property, and we don't hear too much about commercial properties, even though there are several available, just because of the way the economy's been going, that kind of thing. But this is such a cool building. I bet everybody who has been around town for any length of time knows this building.
Yeah.
It's the really cool kind of house-looking one that's on the corner of 10th and Railroad with the big dormer windows and the big front porch, and looks like it could be a really cool house sitting out in the middle of a country field somewhere.
It does.
But it's right downtown Shelton, and it is obviously zoned commercial, but it's zoned commercial residential. So there's the big open room on the ground floor that's just completely open and could be almost anything. Then there's a really cool staircase going up to a loft that could be, with some remodeling, could be enclosed, and that could be living quarters up there. You'd have to put in a kitchen, obviously, and you'd probably have to put in stairs, for outside access, but it's totally doable. And so if you've ever wanted to live over the shop, here's your chance. It's got all kinds of possibilities. It's 3,000 square feet. It's got tons of parking on the side and in the back. It's got ADA access in the back. I just think it's a cool building.
Yeah.
And it's really, when you're coming in on Railroad, that side of the building is really one of the first things you see. So great marketing possibilities as far as putting up a sign and stuff on the side of the building. Would be an awesome office building. Could be a retail space, obviously. Could be a really neat restaurant, obviously with some more remodeling, putting in a commercial kitchen, that kind of thing. But it's listed at $349,500, so I think really good price. The owners are willing to carry a contract with 25% down. So you could get a small business loan, you could get a conventional loan, you could take advantage of the owner financing. So lots of financing opportunities. So take a look at it. I know that not everybody is in the market for commercial, but this has so many possibilities that I think it's really a good one to look at. Like I said, I always thought it would make a really cool house.
Yeah. What's the history on this? Was it a house?
It was not a house. It was built as a quilt shop.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the kind of the interesting things about it is when you look at it on the outside, you see all kinds of windows on the ground floor. But on the inside, a lot of those windows are blocked off because obviously for a quilt shop, you didn't want all of that light coming in.
Oh, yeah.
So it's blocked off, but the windows are there. So if you wanted those windows on the ground floor, you just trim it out.
Oh, you're right. I am looking at the pictures from the outside, and then you can see the video when we post this later. But I didn't realize that.
And there's a little opening where all those windows are, and so you just open that up, and you can reach in there actually to put curtains up and stuff, which is what they did. But if you wanted to open up the windows, you just cut out the drywall and then trim them out on the inside, and you've got windows.
Huh.
So So it was built by really quite famous locally builder, the Shrum Company, built it as the quilt shop, and then those folks changed their plans on what they were going to do. It was rented for a while by Simpson for extra office space.
Yeah.
So it's had a couple of different uses. It would be a great facility for like a physical therapy office or something like that.
Yeah.
It's got built-in vacuum system. It's got forced air heat. It's got all kinds of electrical outlets on the floor. It's got laundry facilities downstairs. It's got an ADA accessible bathroom downstairs. Actually, two of them downstairs, and then a full bathroom upstairs with a tub and everything.
Wow.
So I just really think it's a cool building.
It's a cool place.
And I would really love to see somebody go in there. I mean, it's sad to go by it all the time and see it sitting empty. It just needs somebody to give it some love.
Yeah.
So anyway. So along with that, since I was going to be talking about that listing, I thought I might just talk a little bit about commercial commercial real estate. Again, not too many people in Shelton right now are interested in that, but it might be a perfect time to take a look.
Sure.
Because from all indications, the economy is improving. The mill is going. Tractor Supply is about to open. So it could be a perfect opportunity to get in kind of on the ground floor of commercial real estate in downtown Shelton.
Okay.
And get moving in that direction. So commercial development or commercial real estate is a little bit different than residential, but not a lot, really, surprisingly. The main difference is that it's valued differently. So the income that the place generates is based strictly on square footage. So a lot of times, residential, that's not the case. There's some dead space. You're not using every inch.
Yeah.
Whereas with commercial, you pretty much are. It's directly related to usable square footage.
Okay.
So that's how you can get around having a fairly small lot, but a bigger building with a lot more usable square footage. So commercial property helps diversify risk for folks. For example, if you own an apartment building and one of your units is vacant and the other 9 are filled, that kind of mitigates your exposure a little bit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because you have the other, and so and cash flow is often greater with commercial because the yield is higher per square foot because it's all usable space. So you lease or rent. If you lease or rent a multi-unit commercial property, you have more tenants to generate income than you do with just a single family. This particular one could also be two tenants. You could have the ground floor tenant and the loft tenant, for example.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, you could have two folks renting out of that. So, and then commercial property is usually has longer leases involved. This particular one is also available to lease through John L. Scott's management company, and they're asking for a 3-year lease. That's not uncommon for commercial property. They ask for usually a 3-year lease, so your risk is less there. So in this one, somebody could buy it and then lease it out to 1 or 2 folks, or even 3 if they wanted to divide up the ground floor. So, and then commercial properties are valued by the bank differently. So this kind of scares folks off a lot of times if they're looking to invest in commercial, because they have to find a bank that is willing to work with them. But as I said, in this one, the owners are willing to carry a contract. So you would just have to have 25% down, and then they would carry the contract for the balance.
Is there a lot of commercial availability in Shelton?
There's a fair amount. Yeah, we've just had. In fact, when I was looking back to set a value on this property, it had been like 2 years since anything commercial had sold.
Wow.
In Shelton. But just recently, the old A&W up on the hill just sold. And that's a commercial property. The one on the corner of Railroad and by the creek there that used to be the Blooms by the Park. That had sold a while ago and is in the process of being remodeled. So they're starting to sell. And again, my hope is that folks will see that kind of movement and realize that maybe it's a good time to get in on the ground floor of revitalizing commercial property, and especially downtown.
And it wouldn't necessarily be someone that would want to say, I'm going to open a widget factory, but it could be somebody that says, I'm going to buy this and be the landlord.
Be the landlord, and then attract tenants to. It would be a little bit easier, I would think, for a landlord to go out and really work hard at attracting tenants than even for a management company, because it's the pool is limited. So it's and again, to me, the ideal thing would be somebody who wanted to live above the shop.
Sure.
You could have a pretty nice downtown address and then just go downstairs to your shop in the morning,
and you're ready. You're already at work.
And you're there. Get
your slippers on. You're ready to go.
That's right.
Don, how can folks get in touch with you if they are interested in this or any of the other properties you show?
They can call me at 360-490-4493 or on the corner of 3rd and Railroad at John L. Scott office. They always know where I am and how to get a hold of me. So I would be happy to talk to somebody about this. Or if folks know somebody from out of town, for example, who might be interested in investing in commercial property in Shelton as it becomes an up-and-coming commercial real estate market.
Throw some balloons up there because there's going to be tons of folks in town for Forest Festival.
That's right. That's right. So people will be going right by this building. Right. They can look over and say, "What a cool building that is."
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Hopefully that will happen.
All right, Don. Well, have a great weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll see you around.
Happy Forest Festival.
Happy.